When Candace Owens speaks, people listen. But this time, what she said didn't just raise eyebrows, it sent shockwaves through the entire conservative movement. In an explosive live stream watched by millions, Candace revealed a direct connection between top TPUSA leadership and shadowy donors funding agendas the public was never meant to see. Hidden behind patriotic speeches and polished branding was a trail of money that didn't just influence policies, it bought silence. Candace claims she has the receipts, wire transfers, encrypted messages, and boardroom whispers that trace back to one unthinkable truth: Turning Point USA may have been compromised from the inside. The same organization that claimed to defend freedom might have sold its soul to the highest bidder. Fans are stunned. Critics are scrambling. And Erika Kirk, suspiciously quiet. #TPUSA exposed, #Donagate, #Candace unleashed, #truth bombs incoming. Candace Owens didn't plan to start a firestorm. But the moment she held that envelope up to the camera, sealed in red wax and stamped private, the internet knew something major was about to unravel. What she was about to expose wasn't just another scandal, it was a betrayal buried in the DNA of Turning Point USA itself. Inside the envelope, not opinions, not rumors, receipts, financial documents, offshore banking trails, encrypted messages, and meeting transcripts, every one of them pointing to a truth more uncomfortable than anyone wanted to admit. TPUSA's most trusted relationships had been bought, and the name tied to nearly every transaction: Erika Kirk. It started a week before the chaos, when Candace got a late-night call from a source she hadn't spoken to in nearly 2 years, a former TPUSA operations director who had vanished after Charlie's death, citing spiritual burnout. But his voice now carried urgency, even fear. "They are scrubbing everything," he said. "Donors, trails, receipts. It's bigger than you think." Charlie was starting to put the pieces together. He didn't say who they were. He didn't have to. The next day, Candace received a package at her Nashville studio. No return address, no sender name, just her initials scrawled across the front in thick black Sharpie. Inside, a 64 gigabytes USB drive, a note, and one line that would haunt her: "Charlie didn't die in a vacuum. He died in a funnel." Candace, known for being thorough, handed the drive off to her forensic analyst. What came back shocked even her. The drive contained dozens of internal files, some labeled with standard names like Donacom_22Q3 and Policydrafts_Charlie. But others were cryptically titled Firefly Initiative, Legacy Shield, and one simply called Erika_Pipeline. That file changed everything. It opened with a slide deck presented in 2021 to TPUSA's executive board. The title read, "Stabilization Through Image, Leveraging Marital Optics for Donor Confidence." Page after page laid out a chilling strategy: use Erika and Charlie's marriage to secure long-term legacy donor investments by presenting the couple as the future of faith-driven conservative leadership. There were charts, quotes, scripts. Public unity equals private stability. Reinforce Erika as Charlie's moral compass. Control messaging through soft-spoken faith content. Candace's face dropped. They weren't just a couple. They were a campaign. And Charlie may not have even known it. That's when she went live. Sitting behind her desk with a USB drive front and center, she stared directly into the lens and said, "I didn't want to believe this either. But Charlie's marriage may have been the most high-value asset in this organization. And what I'm about to show you is proof." The first file she displayed, a $1.7 million transfer made to a shell foundation based in Delaware under the name Kingdom Forward Holdings. The beneficiary, an account tied to Erika's private ministry business. The date, 4 days before Charlie and Erika's wedding. The label, pre-union legacy bond. What kind of couple receives legacy bond transfers before the wedding even happens? Candace asked. This wasn't a love story, it was a launch. The internet went into full meltdown. Within minutes, screenshots flooded Twitter and TikTok. Clips from Erika and Charlie's wedding began circulating again, but now with captions like, "Was this real or rehearsal? How many board members attended versus family?" Even Erika's old faith blog, once adored by Christian millennials, was bombarded with comments, with fans asking if her devotionals were written by PR teams. Then Candace dropped another bomb. A transcript from an internal Zoom call dated just 2 weeks before Charlie's death. Present on the call, a TPUSA executive, 2 donor liaisons, and Erika Kirk herself. The topic: securing stability post-leader absence. Candace read it slowly. In the event of unexpected loss, Erika will assume all comes facing leadership. She has been pre-approved by the Donor Advisory Council and will activate Plan E within 48 hours of announcement. Plan E. E for Erika, Candace said, her voice cold. Charlie wasn't even gone yet, and they had a transition strategy in place. Who makes that kind of plan unless they know something we don't? As that clip went viral, TPUSA's comment sections were turned off. Erika's Instagram, normally filled with faith quotes and selfies from events, was scrubbed clean. Over 300,000 comments had appeared within 2 hours, many saying the same thing. Explain the donor files. Charlie deserved transparency. We believed you. You lied. And just like that, Erika's image as the grieving widow began to crumble. Candace wasn't done. She opened a folder labeled Operation Lighthouse. It outlined a financial strategy to connect foreign conservative megadonors to U.S. influence circles via Christian charities. The goal: quiet influence. No headlines. No political filings. One quote from the document said it plainly: the Kirk household is the softest entry point to legacy donor control. Fans were stunned. Even Charlie's parents, silent since their son's death, released a one-line statement. We are reviewing the documents and processing the depth of deception. That single sentence said more than any press conference ever could. And Erika, she said nothing. No tweet, no video, no statement, just silence. But in that silence, the internet grew louder. #legacy was fake, #TPUSA sold out, #ErikaGate, #donor cover-up, #Charlie deserved truth. The fire had already been lit. But what came next? It was an inferno. Just 48 hours after Candace Owens dropped her bombshell livestream, revealing suspicious donor documents and leaked TPUSA internal memos, the internet wasn't just reacting, it was investigating. Threads popped up across Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok, with amateur sleuths matching the wire transfers Candace exposed to real offshore entities, some of which were already under investigation for influence laundering across multiple countries. It wasn't a theory anymore. It was a map, and Candace had just shown everyone where to dig. But in all this chaos, one voice remained noticeably silent: Erika Kirk. The woman at the center of this political web, the same woman seen beside Charlie in hundreds of photos, hadn't said a word. No tweets, no church appearances, not even a "we will respond soon" message. Her silence wasn't just deafening, it was suspicious. Candace seized on that silence in her follow-up stream. You don't go from hosting prayer brunches and charity panels to disappearing overnight unless there's something you don't want to face. And I think Erika knows exactly what that is. Then came the email leaks. A former TPUSA junior comms specialist shared screenshots from an internal Slack channel. In them, higher-ups discussed a PR lockdown plan, titled Operation Blanket, prepared in case any large-scale donor scrutiny surfaces in the public domain. The date on that thread: 2 weeks before Candace went public. They were ready, Candace told her viewers. They knew someone was going to talk. They just didn't expect it to be me. One of the most damning lines in the Slack thread came from a verified exec. If Owens gets hold of anything tied to the Lighthouse Fund, we pivot to legacy family framing and freeze accounts. Legacy family framing? Freeze accounts? Fans were horrified. What was being framed? Who was being silenced? And then someone dug up a deleted TPUSA job posting from early 2023, Director of Narrative Integration, Special Initiatives. The job description was vague, but made multiple references to soft storytelling, public sympathy preservation, and legacy honor design. Commenters immediately dubbed it the grief manufacturing position. But it wasn't just online forums catching fire. Mainstream media finally took notice. MSNBC ran a primetime headline: Faith, Fundraising, and Fallout. TPUSA faces largest internal crisis ever. Even Fox News hosts, usually allies of the movement, looked uncomfortable. One segment had a panel discussing Candace's claims, with a chiron that read, Owens versus TPUSA, internal war or whistleblower warning. The momentum was undeniable. And Candace, she was just getting started. In her next drop, She aired never-before-heard voicemail recordings allegedly left by Charlie Kirk himself just weeks before his death. The messages weren't long, but the tone, devastating. Erika's changing the playbook behind my back. I don't know who's really running things anymore. Feels like the movement doesn't belong to me now. They say it's all about legacy, but why does it feel like I'm being packaged? The most haunting one? If anything happens to me, don't let them make a hero out of a lie. That single sentence became a rallying cry. TikToks using the sound racked up millions of views under hashtags like #packaged-legacy, #hero-hostage, #Charlie-new, #donor-shadow-state. And still, nothing from Erika. But something strange happened next. A new website appeared, erikatruth.com. It featured a single statement supposedly from Erika's legal team. Due to ongoing legal investigations and safety concerns, Mrs. Kirk will not be addressing these false allegations publicly at this time. But internet sleuths quickly discovered the domain had been purchased 6 months prior, long before Candace's claims. Why buy a defense domain before an attack even happens? Unless, of course, you knew it was coming. Candace went nuclear in response. They had a break glass in case of emergency strategy. The only thing missing was a script, and maybe they were writing that too. The next day, Candace aired the full contents of a 25-page deck titled TPUSA Legacy Continuity Plan. It was meant to guide the organization through leadership transitions, brand crises, and unforeseen figurehead loss. The deck included pre-written memorial posts, scripts for influencer testimonials, Erika forward positioning media templates, donor messaging heat maps, and most disturbingly, a page titled Continuity Anchor, Erika K. It described her as emotionally bulletproof, a trusted face, a faithful voice, capable of absorbing and redirecting public sentiment in crisis moments. Erika wasn't just the widow. She was a failsafe. The audience couldn't believe it. Candace's inbox was flooded with tips, theories, and tears. People who had once donated thousands to TPUSA now asked how to pull their contributions back. One woman wrote, "My husband and I donated to support truth. We didn't donate to fund branding campaigns and cover-ups." But just when the storm reached its peak, another leak dropped. An internal financial report from TPUSA's donor liaison team showed a line item, Emergency Influence Stabilization, Q3 2023, $5,250,000. The memo next to it, reallocation of donor funnel to friendly 501c3s during optics turbulence. In plain terms, they were moving money, fast, once the storm started brewing. By now, Charlie's name was trending in every major country. Fans demanded an independent investigation, and 3 former TPUSA employees offered to testify under anonymity, claiming they had been instructed to redirect inquiries and avoid acknowledging Erika's involvement in donor relations. And where was Erika through all of this? Hiding. But her silence now spoke volumes. In Candace's words, "You don't disappear when you've done nothing wrong. You don't lock down if you've got nothing to hide." Erika Kirk is hiding because she knows what Charlie knew. And she knows we've found it too. The third wave didn't come from Candace. It came from inside the house, and it hit like a bombshell. A whistleblower, who had once worked as Erika Kirk's executive assistant during the lead-up to Charlie's final public appearances, came forward under the alias Ainsley on a decentralized live stream, voice modulated and face obscured. What she claimed changed everything. Ainsley didn't just validate Candace's allegations, she expanded them. According to her, Erika wasn't just playing First Lady. She was operating as a strategic funnel between private donors and policy messaging, attending confidential donor briefings without Charlie's knowledge and even editing drafts of his speeches to align with pre-approved talking points. There was always a preferred phrasing list sent from upstairs. Erika would tweak Charlie's wording to match it, especially before donor galas or church conferences, Ainsley revealed. But the real shock came when she described the Thursday meetings. These weren't public. They weren't on TPUSA calendars. But every Thursday afternoon, Erika would excuse herself for a devotional leadership circle, which, according to Ainsley, was actually a private conference call with 3 to 5 anonymous international participants. All she knew was that they spoke in code, referred to legacy positioner and monarch flow, and ended every session with the phrase, "Protect the vessel." I thought they were talking about the movement. But after Charlie died, I realized maybe the vessel was Erika. Candace wasted no time. She went live within an hour of the whistleblower reveal, reading a draft email found among the leaked files that seemed to back Ainsley's story. It was addressed from a donor affiliate and titled Post-Union Resource Shift. In it, a strategy was outlined to slowly redirect TPUSA's youth message to align with global conservative harmonization. The proposal: Charlie's messaging would be softened, and Erika would serve as the bridge for quiet cultural calibration. Candace read that line twice. That's not grassroots. That's grooming. For control. And then came the email that made jaws drop across the internet. It was sent from Erika's encrypted inbox to a TPUSA treasurer 4 months before Charlie's passing. Subject: in the event of operational compromise, buddy, we move into phase 2. Legacy optics will need support. I'll initiate messaging pivot and activate Project North Shield. Charlie has grown resistant to the script. The final sentence: begin contingency funding now, in case of premature exit. Candace looked at the camera in silence. They planned for an exit, but they didn't plan for us finding this. Within 30 minutes, Project North Shield was trending worldwide. Online researchers began scouring TPUSA's public filings, comparing dates, donation influxes, and staff transitions. What they found only fueled the fire. A sudden $3 million donation from a previously unknown Florida-based religious nonprofit 2 weeks after Charlie's death immediately funneled into media development and leadership realignment. That nonprofit registered to an address tied to a shell company in the Cayman Islands, one that had no website, no social presence, no board, just cash flow. And Erika, still silent, but she couldn't hide from the court of public opinion. A viral thread broke down Erika's 2023 speaking schedule, showing overlaps with top-level donor events in New York, Geneva, and Tel Aviv, most of which Charlie did not attend. The thread concluded: she wasn't the grieving wife. She was the liaison. Even influencers who once supported her began backing away. A prominent Christian podcast deleted all episodes featuring Erika. Several worship leaders who had endorsed her publicly recanted their support in Instagram stories. One simply posted, "I feel played. Lord, forgive me." And then Candace made her biggest move yet. She released an audio clip allegedly recorded during a board dinner in early 2022. In it, a male voice, believed to be a senior TPUSA exec, says, "Charlie's starting to veer again. If Erika can't stabilize the arc, we'll have to consider other options. We can't lose momentum." Someone else responds, "He's not the product anymore. They are." That they? Presumably Erika and the curated donor ecosystem built around her. Candace paused the recording halfway through and addressed her audience. This wasn't Charlie's platform anymore. It was their machine. And if Charlie didn't stick to script, he became expendable. Fans were horrified. Instagram comment sections erupted. Erika's old posts were flooded with snake emojis and comments like, "How long were you wearing the mask? Charlie was the face. You were the filter. No more silence. The truth demands an answer." Meanwhile, Erika's legal team tried to contain the fallout with a short release. "These allegations are unfounded and defamatory. Mrs. Kirk's commitment to faith and family remains unwavering." But no one was buying it. Candace fired back instantly in a new video. "If it's defamatory, then sue me. If I'm lying, take me to court. But we both know why you won't. Because that would mean discovery. And in discovery, the real Erika gets exposed." That clip! Over 10 million views in the first 12 hours. By now, even members of Congress were speaking up. One representative who had appeared at TPUSA events tweeted, "Every dollar donated in good faith must be accounted for. We need answers, not press statements." And still, Erika vanished. Candace ended part 3 of her Truth series with a chilling statement. "This isn't about political drama. This is about what they did to a man who believed he was fighting for freedom, only to be sold off like a product in a marketing campaign. And the woman who stood beside him may have been holding the contract the whole time." By now, the world wasn't asking if something was wrong, they were asking how deep it went. And Candace Owens was more than ready to deliver the next blow. This time, she took viewers back in time, before the staged legacy, before the scripted marriage, before Erika was ever Mrs. Kirk. What she uncovered next wasn't just scandalous. It rewrote the entire origin story of TPUSA's most controversial power couple. Candace introduced what she called the grooming files, a collection of emails and photos dating back to 2014, the year before Erika officially began appearing alongside Charlie. At the time, Erika was a rising star in faith-based lobbying circles, known for her ability to connect big donors with moral campaigns. She was already on the radar of political networks, and her involvement wasn't romantic. It was transactional. In one email, a wealthy donor connected to multiple Christian PACs wrote, "We need a wife brand for Kirk. Soft, clean, non-political, but ready to pivot." The recipient, Erika's mentor from her time at a DC Leadership Fellowship, Candace then shared a 2015 calendar invite titled, "Private Dinner, Kirk or Erika DNC Filter Circle." Who the other attendees were is still unknown, but what's clear is that Erika and Charlie were being placed together well before their public dating timeline began. This wasn't courtship, it was coordination, Candace said bluntly. They engineered a love story to sell you a leadership myth. From that moment on, everything felt different. Clips of their engagement video began resurfacing, with viewers pointing out awkward body language, rehearsed lines, and repeated statements about building the mission together. But then Candace played a never-before-heard voicemail from Charlie to a friend, left the night before the engagement was announced. "They want us to do it now. The timing is right," they say. "I like her, but I don't know if this is how it's supposed to happen. Guess this is how legacy works." That phrase hit like a bullet. This is how legacy works. Online reaction was immediate. Hashtags like #Arrange4Power and #LoveOliverage exploded. Fans who had supported the couple for years were heartbroken, now unsure whether any of it had ever been real. But the real twist came when Candace returned to the donor trail and traced it through Charlie's death. According to leaked TPUSA financials, a massive $4.3 million donation was processed just 48 hours after Charlie's funeral. The money came from a new entity called Faith Ascending Trust, which, despite its religious name, had no 501c3 registration, no physical location, and a digital paper trail leading straight to Switzerland. The recipient, a private TPUSA-affiliated media branch listed under Erika's directorship. Candace stayed into the camera. "You don't process $4 million 2 days after burying your husband unless you were already prepared for the transfer." This wasn't tragedy, it was succession. Then she dropped the next grenade. Security footage from Charlie's funeral. Most of the world remembered Erika standing tall, draped in black, delivering a calm, rehearsed speech about unity and moving forward. But what people didn't notice until now, what Candace pointed out with freeze-frame receipts, was that Erika never once looked toward the casket. Not once. Multiple angles. Every camera. Her eyes stayed forward. Either she couldn't face the loss, or she already knew what was in that box, Candace whispered. Theories spiraled. One thread with 2M views questioned whether Charlie's will had been altered before his death. Another fan-produced video aligned Erika's social media posts before and after the tragedy, showing her promotional content returned shockingly fast, just 10 days after the burial. But what really blew people away was the timing of the next Christian Values speaking tour Erika announced, 18 days after Charlie's passing. And guess what? Every stop on that tour aligned with regions tied to TPUSA's largest donors. She didn't go into mourning, Candace said. She went into marketing. Viewers were floored. #truth over tears, #Erika was ready, #Charlie deserved better, #donor pipeline still flowing. But the next document Candace showed was the real killer. A legal draft of an emergency leadership transition agreement, dated 5 months before Charlie's death. The signatures, 3 TPUSA board members, the treasurer, and Erika herself. It granted her full financial, legal, and media authority over all TPUSA divisions in the event of unforeseen executive absence. One line stood out. Erika's appointment ensures continuity of vision and preservation of donor confidence. Candace read it 3 times for emphasis. They weren't preserving the movement. They were preserving the money. TPUSA's silence grew louder. Supporters flooded their accounts with demands for explanation, requests for transparency, calls for an independent audit. But no response came. Just silence. Even conservative media figures began jumping ship. One popular talk show host admitted on air. We were told Charlie's death was a tragedy. What we weren't told was that someone had already printed the roadmap to replace him. Meanwhile, Erika's name became toxic in donor circles. One source told Candace that at least 3 major funders had quietly withdrawn, citing optics concerns. Even insiders who once worshipped her vision began distancing themselves, deleting tweets, retracting quotes, and pulling endorsements. And yet, Erika remained hidden. But Candace wasn't finished. In the final seconds of the stream, she hinted at something bigger. I have one more file. One more document. If what I think is in it is true, then everything we thought we knew about Charlie's last 6 months has been a lie. She didn't show it. Not yet. Instead, she left viewers with one haunting quote from Charlie's final podcast. When legacy becomes currency, you're not a person anymore. You're a product. And products don't get to say goodbye. They just get replaced. The screen faded to black. Candace Owens promised one final file, the one that could unravel everything. And she delivered. This wasn't just another memo or leaked donor ledger. This was a recording, a private, never-before-heard conversation between Charlie Kirk and an anonymous confidant just weeks before his sudden passing. The source: a burner phone recovered by someone only identified as Dawson, a former TPUSA intern who claimed to have stumbled upon the audio while backing up an out-of-func shared drive. Candace played the file live. They want me to push this donor-friendly crap again. I told Erika no. She didn't flinch, just made a call. Next day, it was back on the schedule, but this time with my name under it. Bro, I don't even know what I'm leading anymore. Charlie's voice trembled with exhaustion. He sounded broken, conflicted, and worst of all, trapped. Then came the line that stopped everyone cold. I think they are preparing something. A handoff. I'm not paranoid. I'm just finally seeing it. Candace froze the frame and looked directly into the camera. That handoff. We all know now who it was going to. Hash the handoff, hash Charlie knew, hash trapped by TPUSA, hash Erika replacement confirmed. As the recording spread, TikTokers synced Charlie's voice with clips of Erika at post-funeral media events. The contrast was haunting. Charlie's fear versus Erika's polished poise. Viewers started dissecting Erika's aliased public statements following his death, finding subtle language cues, phrases like our new path, continuing the work, and most notably, the mission he entrusted to me. Entrusted? Candace scoffed. Or scripted? The sentiment was catching fire. By this point, independent creators had formed full-on investigation teams, some digging into corporate records, others analyzing facial expressions, and still others diving into the history of Project Northshield, which was now being called the playbook for takeover. But what Candace showed next made even her audience gasp. It was a digital ledger log, anonymous donations from multiple crypto wallets, all tied to a single nonprofit that had been propped up 6 months before Charlie's passing. The recipient of those funds, a limited liability company called Legacy Media Integrity Group, and the name on the LLC registration, Erika D. Kirk. This wasn't just a PR arm. This was a pre-planned influence hub designed to activate the moment Charlie was no longer in the picture, Candace explained. And that moment was coming faster than anyone realized. The audience erupted. It's like they were setting up a soft coup. She already had her empire built before he was gone. This is next-level betrayal. But Candace didn't stop there. She aired text messages allegedly sent by Erika to a board member 3 days before Charlie's final public appearance. One message read, "He's veering again. I'll take care of optics." Another, "Northshield ready. Positioning begins Friday." Friday was the day Charlie died. Social media lost it. Hash Northshield activated, hash she planned it, hash donor takeover confirmed, hash free Charlie Kirk legacy. Even prominent conservative voices began calling for a full investigation. The National Christian Broadcasting Council, NCBC, issued a formal request to TPUSA demanding access to financial records, particularly donations received between January and September of the year Charlie died. Several board members reportedly stepped back from public roles, and one anonymous source leaked a resignation letter from a former TPUSA regional director who wrote, "This isn't what we signed up for. This is deception masquerading as destiny." Meanwhile, Erika was nowhere to be found. Multiple outlets reported her home security had been doubled. Her phone disconnected. Friends close to her began issuing cryptic statements to reporters like, "She's processing privately and it's complicated behind the scenes." But Candace wasn't buying it. You don't go quiet when you're innocent. You go quiet when the heat is real. Then came the final leak of the stream. A clip allegedly from a secret meeting titled Legacy Realignment, where board members discussed Charlie's brand becoming too volatile and the necessity of consistency over personality. The recording wasn't perfect, grainy and partial, but the implications were undeniable. We can't risk another unscripted cycle. If he can't stick to narrative, we move to Phase 3. According to Candace's analysis, Phase 3 was Erika. Then came the most gut-wrenching moment. A resurfaced clip from one of Charlie's last podcast appearances. In it, he joked with a guest, "Erika's always ahead of the game. Sometimes I wonder if she's planning my next move before I even think of it." The guest laughed. But now, no one was laughing. Candace ended Part 5 with a chilling montage. Charlie's words from the boner phone, led with Erika's donor tour photos. Boardroom quotes about narrative control. Emails marked contingency, handoff, and compliance realignment. Crypto receipts and LLC filings signed just days before Charlie's funeral. And finally, a quote from Candace herself. "This isn't about drama. This isn't about clicks. This is about a man who died in the middle of a machine he thought he built, and instead, it swallowed him whole." She leaned into the MIC, and the woman he trusted most may have been holding the controls the entire time. Cut to black. The final chapter began not with a scream, but with a whisper. Candace Owen sat silently in front of a camera, holding a silver USB stick marked with 2 initials, CK. The chat was already on fire. Hundreds of thousands tuned in live, anticipating what Candace had promised would be her most important reveal yet. "This isn't third party. This isn't hearsay," she said, her voice steady. "This is Charlie's voice. Charlie's final words. And this changes everything." The USB drive had been mailed anonymously to her studio, postmarked from Phoenix, Arizona. No return address. Inside was a single Word document titled, "In the Event." A backup email trail confirmed it had once been saved to Charlie's secure private cloud, then deleted 2 weeks before his passing. The document began like a journal, but shifted quickly into a heartbreaking, point-by-point analysis of what Charlie suspected was happening around him. Something shifted after the 2022 summit. The first paragraph read, "I noticed talking points I never approved popping up in releases. I confronted Erika. She said it was for consistency. But whose? I'm being steered," he continued. "I used to believe I was building a movement. Now it feels like I'm fronting a campaign I don't control." Each paragraph read like a man unraveling a conspiracy around his own life, helpless to stop it. "Erika meets donors without me now. There are policy docs I've never signed being pushed under my name. I asked for full financials and was told I didn't need to worry about the back end." That was the first real red flag. Then came the gut punch. "If anything happens to me, if I go silent, vanish, or die, do not trust the Feist story. Do not let them wrap me in legacy and move on. Look at the money. Look at the timelines. Look at Erika." Candace paused, barely able to speak. "He left us a roadmap, and they tried to erase it." Online reactions were explosive. He knew. "This isn't a theory. This is a confession." Charlie Kirk was silenced, and Erika helped script the next chapter. The document went on. Charlie wrote about a Project North Shield briefing that he accidentally intercepted, labeled for financial eyes only. He described how it outlined a transition plan in the event of his departure. It wasn't worded like a health precaution. It read like a playbook. Erika's name was all over it. She'd been pre-approved by the Donor Continuity Board to maintain messaging stability. And there it was, my name, marked as influential but unstable. That was when I realized I was no longer the architect. I was the liability. That paragraph alone generated over 5 million tweets within the hour. #Charlie was the liability, #he tried to warn us, #the letter that shocked the world, #not a conspiracy anymore. But Candace wasn't finished. She displayed a second attachment from the drive, an audio note, only 1 minute and 37 seconds long. In it, Charlie sounded exhausted, like he was recording in secret. You could hear traffic in the background. A car door slamming. His voice trembling. This may be the last thing I get to say without edits. I love what we built, but it's not mine anymore. Erika is different, cold, strategic. Maybe she always was, and I didn't see it. But someone has to know, this wasn't all mine. The story they're about to tell, it's not the truth. Candace let the silence hang for a moment before speaking. They turned his grief into a platform, his memory into a campaign. And the woman he trusted most, she might have handed them the pen. She continued reading the letters closing. To whoever finds this, don't stop asking questions. If the truth costs you everything, then it's worth twice as much. And with that, Candace stood, walked off screen, and left the stream running with only the letter's final line frozen on screen. If the truth costs you everything, then it's worth twice as much. That clip shattered records. Within 48 hours, over 140 million combined views across YouTube, TikTok, and X. Petitions demanding a full federal investigation surpassed 1 million signatures. 3 former TPUSA board members resigned quietly. Candace Owens was invited to speak at congressional oversight forums. More significantly, dozens of whistleblowers began contacting her directly. Internal staff, former volunteers, disillusioned donors. They all had one thing in common: they felt deceived. But Erika Kirk, still silent. Her last post remained a black and white photo captioned, "Faith is my compass." Comments had been disabled. Supporters turned critics flooded other platforms, demanding accountability. How can you hide now? He begged us not to let you rewrite his ending. Legacy built on lies is no legacy at all. Meanwhile, Turning Point USA announced a sudden internal audit, claiming they had nothing to hide. But behind closed doors, insiders told reporters that leadership was scrambling. Multiple contracts were frozen. Media appearances cancelled. Major donor events postponed indefinitely. Even Charlie's parents re-emerged with a chilling joint statement. "We are devastated by the revelations." Charlie spoke with us about his concerns in the weeks before he passed. "We thought he was just tired. We now realize he was trying to warn us." That sentence alone pushed the conversation from conspiracy into reality. Candace's final update came the next day in a quiet, personal video. "I didn't want to be the one to say it. I hoped someone closer would come forward. But I realize now, Charlie was reaching for help, and we didn't hear him. But we hear him now, loud and clear." She promised a truth archive, a public digital library of all files, recordings, and leaks connected to the case. Crowdfunding was already underway to build it. Fully transparent, fully encrypted, and accessible to everyone. They wanted to bury his voice in eulogies and headlines, Candace concluded. But Charlie Kirk didn't go quietly. And his truth isn't staying quiet either. The final frame? A single line over black. Truth doesn't die. It rises. So, what do you believe now? Was Charlie Kirk's death truly the tragic end of a legacy, or the calculated reset of a movement hijacked by hidden power? The documents, the audio, the warnings, they are no longer whispers. They are screams for justice. And the silence from Erika Kirk? It's louder than any denial. If this story shook you, if you believe the truth should never be buried under money, power, and fake smiles, then now is the time to speak up. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and share this video before it mysteriously disappears. Follow for every update, because this story is far from over. #Justice for Charlie, #expose the truth, #donegate, #Erika new, #TPUSA uncovered. Subscribe. Stay loud. Stay alert. Because the ones in power are hoping you'll forget. Don't.